am doing extremely well and hope the same for you guys. And as we are approaching towards Christmas, not so long for Christmas, is it? I am so happy that I'm able to host these lives for you guys just before Christmas so that you can start your new year with rocking. I mean, you guys can have a rocking start of a new year, okay? So, like in today's live, what I'm going to be talking about is lack of confidence and knowingly or unknowingly how it can actually affect your results, whether it's in business or in a job. So basically, to start before into how you can actually overcome lack of confidence, it is very important to see what exactly lack of confidence can actually do for in your business, like kind of how it can affect your business. So, and before we start that, let's look into why is self-confidence or is so important in any thing, whatever you do, like whether it's a business or a job or even in day-to-day life, whatever you are doing, why is self-confidence so important? So basically, if I'm saying it in a simple words, so in this like kind of fast-paced world that we are living in right now, all of these things like talent, academics, and qualifications, basically these are not counted as enough to get where you are going to get to where you are trying to get to. Okay, so all of these, and when it is supported with self-confidence or confidence, it converts into success, whether it's in your job or into your business. And it is basically crucial for anything, whatever you're trying to do in your life. So being confident, or in a workplace, if we are talking about, it enables you to situationally proactive, assertive, and to be like situationally proactive, assertive, and focused. So having a true confidence in a business allows you to take proper decisions in your business, and it also allows a less turnover of your employees if you are confident and making confident decisions from your self-confidence and coming from that confidence, the space of confidence. It entitles you to take the decisions what you're supposed to be taking in your business, in your work, in whatever zone of life you are at the moment. Okay, so it majorly is a major factor of how successful you are going to be. But the fact that when we start thinking, I am not confident or anything like that, we start casting ourselves as not confident, and that's what reflects in our day-to-day life. Okay, and that is the taboo that at least I am trying to break here with this life. So now, being confident or confidence, self-confidence, it's directly proportional to how worth and trusting you think you are. First of all, how much worthy you think of yourself and how much trusted you think of yourself. So first and foremost places, we cannot expect anyone else to see us as a confident person if we are not seeing ourselves as worthy enough of whatever we are trying to achieve. Okay, and that takes us back to our previous slide as well. Actually, if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. It was all about self sabotage. So that takes us to that point as well, where we don't think ourselves of worthy of getting something, achieving something, or when we start thinking that, okay, fine, our conscious mind is basically telling us, okay, I want to achieve such and such thing, but at the back of our mind, we don't feel ourselves worthy of achieving that thing. Say, for example, if I'm taking an example here, so say, for example, I'm trying to earn maybe £100 extra every month, right? That is what I want to do. But do I feel worthy that I am worth of earning that £300 extra at all? So obviously we have to like kind of unless and until we think of ourselves as worthy of whatever we are trying to achieve, we don't see ourselves confident enough to be able to work in that direction. I hope I'm making sense. If not, let me know in the comments if you guys are thinking, if you think that I'm making sense at all. Okay, so yes, so that is directly proportion of how much worthy we think of ourselves, how much self-worth we have. Now, without confidence, a business owner may want to reach everyone and anyone, keeping their fees low, keeping their prices low, and all that sort of thing, and afraid to ask for money at certain occasions. They may wait until everything is perfect before raising their fees or prices. These are all signs of not being confident. What it's showing you is you are actually so say for example you have developed a product which you are trying to sell, but you yourself don't see your product to be worthy enough for people to buy it, then definitely that is going to reflect in your messaging. That is going to come across to people. Okay, fine, this person is not confident herself or himself. How can we trust him or her? Okay, so this is the first and foremost thing that we need to be looking into, is how much confidence, not only how much confidence, how much worthy we think that whatever we are trying to sell, how much worthy we think that thing is worth of, how much. So because of not being able to see how much worthy that thing is capable of, we tend to keep our prices down. We tend to like kind of afraid of asking for the money that we are entitled to ask for, right? We think that our prices should be selling in £200, but we're not, because we think no one will pay that much of money for my product. We are sabotaging ourselves then and there. Okay, we are not thinking that our product is worthy enough that anyone would pay £200 for that particular product. So this is where the confidence things comes in picture. So all of these things are, first of all, we are sabotaging ourselves at that first in that scenario at first place, and secondly, we are showing that we are not confident enough to be able to connect to people in a way that they are able to trust us and buy from us. Right? So confidence, self-sabotage are two very important pillars to achieve success in our day-to-day life, in our business, in our workplace, in whatever we are trying to do. Now, if we think that we are not confident enough, is there a way to turn it around? Of course there is. Now, but before we look into how we can turn things around, we should be knowing what does exactly confidence mean. So, but having confidence means, so basically having confidence means understanding the value you offer, effectively communicating and presenting yourself, which then results in getting noticed for all the right reasons and increasing your income. Very simple concept, but it becomes very difficult for us at further times when we are not thinking ourselves of worthy of achieving what we are trying to achieve, worthy of getting that £100 extra per month. If we don't feel ourselves worthy enough to have that, there is no way we are going to have it. So now, so say for example, let me give you an example here. So say for example, you have, I don't know, what can I show you? So maybe you have gone to sell this AirPods to someone, right? You have told them all the benefits and features and whatnot is the benefits, features, and what it can do for them, what it can not do for them, what they can be, how their life is going to be easier with that. But everything, whatever you are telling them, if that is not coming from the place of confidence, and if you're not confident within yourself, if you're not finding this product worthy at first place, you don't trust this product yourself, and you don't find this product worthy of whatever you are saying, then do you think the people who are listening to you are even going to relate with it? Absolutely not. So whatever I'm trying to say here, whatever I'm saying here, if you can't relate with that right now, that means that I am not feeling that I am worthy enough of what I am trying to tell. I'm not worthy enough of your attention so that you can listen to us and listen to me and understand what I'm trying to say, basically, right? But that should not be the case. That definitely should not be the case if you are trying to develop yourself in a business or in a workplace. Okay, so um, now there are certain myths like about confidence, and I will start with a few myths and let you know if they are true or false. Okay. So now confidence, there are people who say this confidence can be learned. Is it a true or is it a false? Of course, it's a true. If you're not confident enough right now, that does not mean that you cannot be confident in the future. Unless and until, but there is a fact behind that as well, unless and until you are able to find out what is it that is stopping you from being confident, you would not be able to achieve that confidence. And that is exactly what I help people with, right? So in my mastermind and in my one-on-one coaching as well. So now, can confidence be learned? Of course, it can be learned. Confidence is something we can learn by working on four key areas. What are those four key areas? The four key areas are achievements, positivity, social support, and body language and physicality. Now, body language and physicality comes right in the end, and the first thing which you need to concentrate on when you are trying to learn confidence, basically, if you're trying to achieve the level of confidence what you don't have right now, is positivity and belief, right? Social support, again, a very, very important thing. So the people around you, this is a very important thing, and you will hear me saying this again and again and again. So the people you are surrounded by plays a major role in your life, in your work, in your business. Major, major life. Why is that? Because you become 70% of the people you're around, you are with. So basically, if you're around people who are less confident or who don't believe in themselves, who self sabotage themselves, you will become seven. You will take that 70% of them from them. So that's why all the coaches and mentors, like kind of all every coach and mentors I have worked with, they have always said that always be aware of whom you're hanging out with, always be aware of your community, always be aware of your social support. That is a very, very major thing in your development, in your growing, and in your achievement of whatever you're trying to achieve. Now, the point that you need to be really, really aware of here in terms of building that confidence for yourself is your achievement. Never, ever forget what you have achieved in your life. Never ever overlook that. So even if it's a small, teeny tiny things, whatever you have achieved, whenever in the times, these achievements help you in the times of, when you are feeling not so confident, oh no, this is not meant for me, I can't do this, that's all feelings. Just go back and remember what are your achievements. Even if it's a small achievement, that will give you an upliftment then and there. Okay, just that is a very, very major concept. Like achievements are very, very important. That is the reason why in many coaches and mentors say that in your vision board. So I don't know if you have ever heard John Assaraf. So John Assaraf is a who always talks about vision boards, and he doesn't only talk about vision boards. Actually, he talks about vision boards, and he also talks about achievement boards. So you have a vision board for your future, what you have done, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve in your life, with your pictures and date and time and everything on their vision board. And you should also have an achievement board. So in that board, you would put a picture or a caption or something about whatever you have achieved so far in your life. Whenever you're feeling low, not confident, not feeling worthy, go and look at that achievement board. It helps you big time. Big time, it helps you. And when you remember everything you have achieved, you're like, oh my God, I've done so much, I've achieved so much. I can do this as well. It boosts your confidence straight away. That is something really, really very, very strange. I mean, surprisingly, it works so well. Now, positivity. With this, obviously, there is a factor that we cannot be positive 24/7. We cannot remain positive all the time. Obviously, there will be a situations, there will be times when you will be feeling really like kind of, low and not so positive. It's not humanly, it's not possible. We are human. We are supposed to like express our emotions, whatever emotions we are feeling in that particular time. So, but being positive does not really mean what we think it means actually. So being positive doesn't mean that, oh, okay, the doomsday is coming, but you are really positive that you will survive. No, it doesn't mean that. Being positive means seeing the ray of light at the end of the tunnel. So although you are in that dark black tunnel and you don't see any end of the tunnel, but you can still see that light far away, and you can see, okay, there is a possibility I can come out of this. And when you start thinking like that, obviously, you would start seeing the opportunity. That is what being positive means. Being positive does not mean that there is a chaos around you and you want to be angry, but you are trying to be positive. No, just be positive in the situation. There is chaos. Yes, there is chaos. And if you're feeling angry about it, just get angry. Express your emotions. When you are processing your emotion, expressing them, when you're expressing your emotion and allowing them to process, it helps you release the, what is it called, it releases endorphins basically. So obviously it helps you in your neuro sense. It helps you release those emotions, and you can actually go and connect with yourself even more after you have released those emotions, right? So if you're feeling angry, express that anger. It doesn't mean yelling and shouting, go and yell and shout at someone. But obviously you can express that emotion just by saying that, okay, fine, yes, there is a chaos around me. Can we do something about it? I'm actually feeling angry, and we really need to do something about it. Simple, yeah. So you have expressed your emotion without shouting. It's as simple as that. There is this tendency of making things complicated, although they doesn't have to be that way, right? So now body language and physicality. Yes, to a certain extent, it does matter in learning confidence, your body language and physicality. But to be honest, for me, if you will ask me, body language and physicality comes right at the back, right at the end, obviously, when you're learning to be confident, because that comes automatically as you are achieving all the other bullet points. Then body language and physicality comes automatically. It accompanies as you are learning the confidence. Okay, so now there is another myth, which is confident people do not fail. Is that a true or a false? Of course, it's a false. Confident people fail just as much as the non-confident people fail, if not more than the other people. Okay, this is because they have the courage to take more actions than non-confident people. Now, why do they fail more than non-confident people? Obviously, because they have that courage to take that action, and that does not mean that they don't experience fear. Now, this is something which I'm going to cover in the next point, fear. But basically, they have that courage to take more action than the non-confident people have. Thus, they have higher chance to success as well as failure. So, the more you take action, you have more chances of succeeding, and there are chances to failure as well. So, if you are facing loads and loads of failure, that means you are courageous and you are taking actions, which is an absolute wonderful thing. Okay, failure you don't fail until you have stopped trying and stopped taking action. Now, the key here is how confident people deal with the failure. That is the key thing over here. Rather than seeing failure as a failure and denting their self-esteem, oh my God, I failed in this. How can I do this? How this? Confident people, so they really start thinking, looking down upon their self-esteem. So instead of doing that, confident people are willing to learn from failures so they can do better the next time. So what confident people do, instead of like kind of blaming themselves forever and ever and ever, they tend to they obviously tend to sorry, I have a comment there. I just Pujita is about dealing our weeds with surrender and release. You keep it up. Thank you. Yes, it definitely is. It definitely is about dealing with our weeds and surrender. Definitely. So yeah. So the confident people, they do not dwell in whatever has happened. They learn from it and then move. They move ahead and take another action. Now, there's another myth which says, do confident people experience fear? Oh, yes, they do. Confident people experience fear, doubts, insecurities, just like anyone else. Okay. But the key here is they feel scared, they feel fear, experience fear, but they would do it anyway. They would take action anyways. If I give you my example, not very long ago, I, to be honest, I have never been a fearful person. I will be really honest with you guys. So I have never been shy of showing up on the camera or anything like that. Just like I'm talking to you, just like I'm talking to you right now. I have never felt uncomfortable in that. But the one thing which I have always felt uncomfortable in is I have always felt fear, or that shyness or resistance in telling about myself to people, or asking them come and buy from me, or come and join me in this, come and buy from me, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, anything, anything like that. I have always felt fear in that. So not very long ago, I was given in on those situations. So if I would feel fear in asking about something from people, I would not do that. But when I started working with coaches and mentors, this is something what I overcome with time. I mean, I have turned myself around 360 degrees that way. So instead of like kind of thinking that what they are going to think about me, if I will ask them this, I would instead think to myself that, okay, fine, they might think something about me, but that's not going to be the end of world, is it? There is God knows how many billion of people on the planet. There will be one person at least who would listen to me, and who would maybe maybe my ideal client who would buy from me as well, who if he or she will find it worthy, right? So that's exactly what like kind of I have overcome within myself. So I had this going and telling about myself to people, or going and telling them, okay, this is what I do, this is what I help people with, and you can come and ask me for help. I am the person for you. That thing. You should be. This is what I do, and if you want to overcome this, I am your person. This is the biggest fear, which I wasn't telling anyone about this. I do, although I know that I can help them in whatever they are facing right now, but I have never asked them to come and talk to me, or come and work with me, or anything like that, because I was so fearful that they would not buy from me at first place. And that took me to my first point, which I mentioned right in the beginning, is because I didn't saw myself worthy enough that I am able to help people with the problems they have, right? So that is the reason why, obviously, I have like kind of not been able to ask or do any business, see any income in my business quite a long time. It has nothing to do with anyone else, really. Okay, so now there is a fourth myth, which is you don't need to be perfect to feel confidence, which is a truth. Which is a truth. Perfectionism basically does not exist in this world. So no matter how much perfect you make something, there will still be something which can be improved. Even even the people whom we think are perfect, in reality are actually not. We all have flaws and limitations. Striving for perfection, if anything, holds us back. It is a way of setting impossible to achieve aims, so we never ever take action. So perfectionism leads to procrastination, basically. So if anything, perfectionism is an excuse for not taking action, as I just said, that it leads to procrastination. We just make an excuse that this is not looks perfect, and I'm not taking action because this is not looking perfect. That's just an excuse we are giving ourselves, and we are hiding behind this concept of perfectionism. It does not exist. Okay, so if we think that we will act when the situation is perfect, it's possible that we will never ever act on anything because the situation is never going to be perfect. Now, confident people are confident in everything. There is a fifth myth, and this is false. Confidence is not an all or nothing situation. Instead, it's a context specific. So some people are confident in something. As I said, I have never had a problem talking to people on the camera just like this, but I have had problem going up, standing up and asking for money from people. I wasn't confident enough to do that. Okay, so confidence has nothing to do with he or she is confident in everything. No, it is definitely context specific. Some people think that if we are confident, we have to be confident in everything. So this is definitely not the case. You may be confident in one area because you have a lot of practice of familiarity with that area or task, but not confident in other areas or tasks as you're not familiar with them. It's as simple as that. Obviously, I am not confident in building landing pages still for whatever I do. It still takes me ages. I'm not confident enough, and I will still go through like 10 times after even I build it to see if everything is okay in that I haven't forgotten anything, because I am not familiar of doing that. I have just started doing it and I'm learning, right? I'm in the learning phase of it. That does not mean that I'm not confident to sell my things. That does not stop me there, obviously. It's just that area which I'm not confident, right? And I can easily achieve that by learning that new thing. Not confident right now does not mean, again, that I cannot be confident for that particular thing in future. Now, the point here is that confident person realizes this, and if they want to become more confident in that particular area which they're not familiar with, they know that they just need to practice more, and eventually their confidence in that area will grow. Simple. Really, truly, these concepts, they look so small, but we ourselves make it so massive and make it a limiting belief for ourselves. That is a beauty of mindset. When we start talking about mindset or learning about mindset or working on our mindset, and we start working on shifting our mindset and shifting our paradigm, we start seeing these things as are little things, right, which we can overcome. But when we don't know about any of these things, about mindset, that these are mindset blocks that we face in day-to-day life, we start thinking it as a limiting belief. We encounter that as a limiting belief, knowingly or unknowingly. That becomes our belief. Okay, fine, I'm not confident in doing that. And what we're doing, we are telling our subconscious mind that I'm not confident, I can't do this, I'm not confident in doing this. And our subconscious mind gets on its work. It's job to protect us, right? So it starts protecting us by making that thing our belief, and we start believing in this and stop taking action then and there, which should not be the case. So again, if any of you are listening to this, and if any of you guys experience this issue with self-confidence or self-sabotage or limiting belief or fears or anything like that, this is exactly what I help people to overcome with. I help them to unlock their full potential so that they can build their business, what they expect to build. Okay, So, and we are going to move forward and we are going to discuss about another myth, which is confident people are arrogant. Do you think it's a false or a true? Let me know in the comments. Confident people are arrogant. You think it's a false or a truth? Of course, it's a false. Confidence and arrogance are two different things. Somebody who is arrogant and feels the need to show off all the time and belittle other people is in reality is very, very insecure. So anyone you are coming across whom you think is arrogant or showing off or anything like that, probably he's so insecure and he has so many insecurities which he's trying to hide. So no need to be defensive in front of that particular person, or no need to be like kind of thinking, oh my god, he's so arrogant. No, there has to be some sort of insecurity that he or she, that particular person, is definitely trying to hide. And all we can do is listen. Just listen to that person, no matter how arrogant that person is. Just keep in the back of your mind that arrogance has nothing to do with confidence. Okay, so and now this is because actually they need to. Now the arrogant people do like this because obviously they need to compare themselves to others and be admired to feel validated. That is a very, very important point. So confident people does not want or feel that they need to be validated for everything they do. They don't, because you actually don't need to be validated for everything you do. If you are seeking validation in everything you do, probably you are actually, yes, definitely you need to work on your confidence, but more than you need to work on the confidence, you need to work on, you should be working on seeing that why am I actually seeking validation in such and such things. And also there should be a pattern. There has to be a pattern in the areas where you are actually seeking validation. So if you're seeking validation in, like, say, for example, if you are seeking validation in any type of questionnaire you are building, you have made, and then you're seeking validation, is this questionnaire, does this look all right? You would put it on the Facebook group or ask your friends or families or something like that. If you are seeking too much validation, if you're just asking for ideas, that's a different thing altogether. But if you're seeking a validation on every single thing you do, you really and truly need to see the pattern on what areas actually you are seeking validation, right? So whatever area you are seeking validation, then you start evaluating, why am I seeking validation in this? Is there anything I'm lacking? Is there anything I need to kind of maybe develop a new, learn a new skill so that I can stop seeking that validation? Is there something stopping me from being confident in that particular area? Once we have found out that particular thing, obviously that's exactly when we start working on it, right? But first thing is, we really and truly need to find out what is it, why am I seeking this validation? Why am I doing this? We really and truly need to get to the bottom of that. Unless and until we are not doing this, we are just suppressing whatever is coming down. Once we, as I said in the previous slide, if we just keep suppressing, one day it's going to blast. Okay, so instead of really and truly just dismissing each and every thought of yours, really truly think, where is that thought coming from? Why is it coming? Is there any incident related to it? Does it relate to any particular person or incident, or something happened in the past with me, or anything like that? Yeah, so basically we have to get really to the bottom of that. Now after these myths, there is something called confidence chain effect, which is a very simple thing. So, and I will try to be as simple in explaining this as possible. So, say for example, there is an event that has happened, anything, it could be any event that has happened. Now, with that event, we obviously have generated some thoughts, right? So, say for example, you have done something in your office. You have I will take an example of an employee. So you have done something at your workplace which you think you have done good, but you took it to your boss and your boss said, oh, it doesn't like kind of you've explained it to him and everything, and it doesn't look he didn't give a very positive feedback about whatever you've done. It wasn't negative completely, but it wasn't positive as well. So he mentioned some negative points, some positive points. Now, if you from that event, if you are a confident person, what you are going to think, if you lack confidence, you might think something along the lines of, obviously, I am a failure. I never do anything right. I can't do this. Why does it have to be me every time? Why everyone just keeps telling me this? No one likes my work ever. These sort of thoughts are going to be coming to your mind if you lack confidence. Now, if you are not lacking confidence, the thoughts which are going to come in your mind is going to be like, although my boss has criticized me on this, but he's on me explaining this, but he also said that I did well in this. So let me see what was wrong in the part where he criticized me, and if there is anything I need to focus on, and if there is anything I can improve there, right? So that is the difference in thought process of a confident and a non-confident person. Now, this thought process obviously generates your emotions. Now, as a result of those emotions, you can feel sad, you can feel embarrassed, you can feel anxious, you can feel scared, you can feel, or you can feel really happy, really confident. Go get it sort of emotions, okay? Whatever your emotions are feeling. So now you're tracking the chain, yeah? So event has happened, you thought about it, then your emotions are generated from those thoughts, and your body, in addition to your emotions, your physical body may feel something in them. You can feel tense, you can feel you can feel your heartbeat to go faster. Assume a defensive position with my arms crossed, like arms crossed or hunch or over as body feeling as the weight of the disappointment. Or you can feel, okay, let me think what happened there. Or you're feeling your heartbeat is perfectly fine, your body is not feeling that tense. So what is your body telling you? What is your emotions telling you at that particular time? That now we have started from an event, then we went to the thoughts, we went on emotions, we went on our body, then we are going to go on our behavior. Okay, so what is our behavior telling us as well? Finally, the behavior will reflect in your internal turmoil, and you might react badly to criticism. So whatever your thought pattern was, whatever your emotions were coming up, whatever your body was telling you, it can turmoil internally, and you can react badly to that criticism. You can be defensive, aggressive, or overly apologetic. So you can become like kind of, overly defensive all the time. So it says anyone said something to you, but this, that, no need for it. Or you can get really aggressive, or you can get overly apologetic. So that's the behavior pattern. Now, all of these gives you the result of that event. Now, all these things that go in within you and that expressed by the behavior and physical reaction will have a result, obviously. Now, in this case, you cannot imagine that the result will be positive. If you have experienced negative thoughts, if you have experienced negative emotions, negative signs in your body, negativity in your behavior, then obviously the results are going to be negative, right? In this, obviously, you can't expect the results to be positive. It might retreat in shame, loss all confidence to apply for promotions, future, for example. It can result in anything. You can get aggressive towards your boss as well because of their criticism. Who the hell does she think of herself? Who the hell does he think of herself or himself? Or he's not a good person to work with, and all that sort of thoughts will start coming in, and you will start getting those sort of results. Now, the results will trigger, obviously, with the events in future. The results, whatever results you are seeing now, those results are going to trigger you in future as well, future events, whatever is happening. So what you're going to do in future is you're going to be thinking about this event, what happened in the past event, and obviously you are going to act accordingly. So there is this confidence chain sequence. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you want me to put this in the comments or something. I can do that for you guys. That's not a problem at all. Let me read this comment here. Confidence is not something people are born with. It's something you must create. Building confidence creates a feeling of certainty that you can accomplish what you set out to do. Confidence is like any other emotion. It's something you feel and you can train to access it in an instant. Quoting Robbins. Tony Robbins. Are we talking about Tony Robbins here? Is that Cam talking to me in the comments? It looks like it. Yes, that is very true. Confidence is not something people are born with. There is nothing that people are born with. That is all with how we are brought up. Is half of the things we learn is how we are brought up, and half of the things we learn from our experiences, past experiences, and we build on that. So definitely, confidence is not something what we are born with, and that is something certainly what we can learn for sure. Now the question comes, how we can improve that self-confidence chain. Now to break this chain, we just have to interpret an event by how we think and react. So let's see. For example, if your boss criticizes one aspect of your report, if I'm confident, I will probably think, that's a fair point. I should give it a go, and I should think what can be improved here. Simple. What can you do to improve it? As soon as you start thinking in terms of that, what can you do to improve anything, whatever has happened? You start building the emotions of positivity. You feel calm, you feel relaxed, maybe even excited to see what you can encounter, what you can improve, what new you can learn. Just by thinking about how you can do better next time, and then you embrace the challenge. Your body will be in a calm state, and you will be a confident, open. You will be in a confident, open posture. You wouldn't be like hunched or like this or anything like that. Okay, and because of that, your behavior will be constructive and assertive as well. And you will ask your boss calmly for more feedback on exactly how does he want the things to be, so that you can look into it, and in future you can do better than whatever you have done. Okay. So and as a result, the boss will be happy, and he will think that you are a perfect good person to be working with, who accepts feedback, who is willing to improve and accepts challenge as well. And obviously that result will trigger the results in the future. So whatever you are doing right now is going to trigger whatever results you are seeing in the future. So definitely learning confidence is 100% possible. Now I will give you some examples of what is it that can be learned from confident business owners as well. So now confident business owners are willing to put in time and energy to educate themselves on marketing leadership skills, effective listening skills, building their own personal brand, and developing executive presence, so they are seen as someone who is assertive and creative. Okay, so confidence is directly related to learning new skills. The more skills you are learning, the more confident you are getting. And that is a fact. I am a living example of that. When I started thinking about my own business, I didn't know how. I didn't know nothing about online business, to be honest. I didn't know how to do e-commerce. I didn't know how to do affiliate marketing. I didn't know how to do coaching. I didn't know anything about how to use these website or landing pages, how to email responses, how to do this, build this automation, autoresponders, and all that sort of thing. I did not know any of this, but I learned. And the more I learned, the more confident I became in those things. I even have people in my community. I even have people who ask help from like kind of, as simple as I'm going live right now. I'm going live on like four right now at same time through Restream. So I didn't knew this when I started that I can go live at 4 channels at the same time. Learned, I learned from people are fearless. Or rather, I should say they have fear, but they would still do it. They would go ahead and do it regardless of being